the amazingly gifted Gilbert Zachary.
Yes, he is.
We are so lucky to have him.
Yes.
Yes.
And now, before we start, let's just do our invocation. Infinite Spirit, in whom we live, move, and have our being, we acknowledge the presence and power of God. This presence, this power, this activity of Spirit is right here in Miracle Center for Spiritual Living in this day. It is in and through each and every one of us. In and through each and every person that's communicating via the Zoom. We are one with God. We are unified. Though we are not God, we work through God. And we know that our speaker today, Reverend June Clark, is blessed. She's blessed with a speech as it comes straight from the lips of God through her. We just give thanks for this time that we are together. And you can say with me now, and so it is.
So it is.
And so I let it be. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing this wonderful day?
Fantastic.
Great.
For all the folks that are on Zoom, we had one heck of a rainstorm this morning. Wind and rain and thunder. I wasn't outside. I didn't know if it was lightning or not, but usually where there's thunder, there's lightning. So now we're going to have a song by Miss C.C. Wines. There is power in your name. All right.
Yes.
Welcome again to Miracle Center for Spiritual Living. We're at 2653 South Taylor Road in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. This wonderful, wonderful Sunday. The weekly topic title is, I Got It, I Lost It. Sounds sort of familiar, doesn't it? This week, we look at the dance between our imaginary sense of identity, the ego self, and our true divine nature. Who are you really? That's thought-provoking, isn't it? Who are you really? I wonder about that sometimes. Today, I let go of my identification with doing and allowing the self to be. Let's say that together. Today, I let go of my identification with doing and allowing the self to be. Oh, they ended this sentence with a verb. Science of mind point of view. When you accept this moment fully, when you no longer argue with what is compulsive thinking wanes, and is replaced by an alert stillness, you are fully conscious, and yet the mind puts no label on this moment. The state of inner non-resistance opens you to unconditioned awareness, which is infinitely greater than the human mind. Then this vast intelligence can express itself through you and help you, both from within and without. That is why when you let go of inner resistance, you often find that circumstances change for the better. And that's from Eckhart Tolle, The Stillness of Silence. Today, one of the spiritual principles of the science of mind sees a universal dimension as a complete universe of wholeness and oneness. In this, spirit is a perfect totality that includes all and harmoniously incorporates all apparent opposites. In the fifth step of spiritual mind treatment, we release our word to the complete and total and perfect totality. You know, you have to work on that fifth step. can do a wonderful, perfect treatment, but if you don't release it into spirit, it just doesn't work. I found that out the hard way. And now we are waiting on Reverend June Clark. Oops.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone there in the sanctuary, and I bless you and thank you for coming. I'm sorry I couldn't get to get with you this morning. And before I start, I have a few personal notes to take care of. First, I would like to apologize to those of you who were on Zoom last week when we tried to play the video. Wasn't a video, it was actually on Max, through Max. Somehow I don't understand all of that. So it was, it's called, uh, gosh, the name just went through my head. But we had trouble for you seeing it. We did fine with seeing it in the audience. And I do apologize for that. And we will try and do that again. It's a wonderful film. If you can rent it and show it. And it is called, I'm sorry, I'm not calling up the name. Well, I'll get you back to it. And also, I would like to apologize for not being seen today because I'm sure the technicality there at church is. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you very much. Maggie sent me the name of the film. It's called Flow. It's that simple. And I guess the title of this week's Sunday service is I had it and I lost it and I had it and I lost it again. So it's back. The title of the film is actually FLOW. And if you have if you have Max, you can get it for free. I don't understand all of this, but it is a film, but there is no talking. It is animated. It is animals, and it is a stretch to our metaphysical, not even our metaphysical imagination, but using your imagination and thinking of all the characters and the flow of the film in a metaphysical way. And I saw part of it that I saw with the folks there at church, and it is awesome. So please try and get that to be able to see it. So this morning, we're moving into something a little different. This whole month seems to be a little different, but it's good to awaken us to something new. And I see the multitude of you that are with me on Zoom here, so welcome to you all. And as I get started here, redefining conditioning. As I am redefining things and trying to get my timing straight, my pain levels straight, and all my papers straight, I just want to apologize again for this morning because I found a wonderful reading that I would have gotten to Laverne, but it was too late to get to her. So I'm going to go ahead and read it this morning before I start the rest of the service. And it's called According to an Old Hindu Legend. There was once a time when there was once a time when all human beings were gods. But they so abused their divinity that Brahma, the chief god, decided to take away from them and hide it where it could never be found. Let me read that again. That sounds awkward. Oh, I see what it is. That Brahma, the chief god decided to take, I would say, itself away from them and hid itself from where it could never be found. Where to hide their divinity was the question. So Brahma called a council of the gods to help him decide. Let's bury it deep in the earth, said the gods. But Brahma answered, no, that would not do because humans will dig into the earth and find it. Then the gods said, let's sink it in the deepest ocean. But Brahma said, no, for they'll learn to dive into the ocean and will find it. Then the gods said, let's take it to the top of the highest mountain and hide it there. But once again, Brahma replied, no, that will not do either because they will eventually climb every mountain and once again take up that divinity. Then the god gave up and said, we do not know where to hide it because it seems that there is no place on earth or in the sea that human beings will not eventually reach. Brahma thought for a long time and then said, here is what we will do. We will hide their divinity deep in the center of their own being, for humans will never think to look for it there. All the gods agreed that this was the perfect hiding place, and the deepest deed was done. And since that time, humans have been going up and down the earth, digging, diving, climbing, and exploring, searching for something already within themselves. So I think that is a very, very wise delivery of a Brahma and Hindu lesson that we can think about, that we can focus on as we look at things like flow, as we examine different ways to accept our allness, our full knowledge of what is going on in the world, especially today. And I am trying to use the music that we need to lift us up, trying to use the messages that lift us up. And, Reverend Leora has her program going, and those of you who have joined will be lifted by it. If you need to get in touch with me about it, call me and we will see about how to get you further lifted into that program. So I know this is maybe just off the beam for a service, but as the world escalates, and especially the United States of America or American leadership escalates, we need each other to pray. We need each other to have the deepest faith possible so that we can just know, not always asking, well, what do you think they're going to do about this? What do you think they're going to do about that? We don't know. We've seen enough to know that perhaps the answer is within the deepest heart of those who know. We do not ask each other, what do you think? We do not ask ourselves, what do you think's going to happen? Ain't it awful if this happens? What it might happen hit so many of us. It's no sense asking one person, but know within yourself that this too shall pass. This too, this truth is our truth. It is what we are trying to share with one another, is not the questions, but the answers of what is and what is now and what is going to continue to be, which is the highest and excuse the bestest, is highest and best for every person in this United States of America. Whether you need Social Security, whether you need your best working income level CD to stay high, whatever you need, whether we need our eggs to be $3 instead of $8 or whatever they are. I'm not in the position to shop. People shop for me, so I'm not clue on that. But I understand we have what we have. Let's hold on to our faith and share it amongst each other. So I'll move into our lesson for today. And I'm upbeat. And I'm ready to hold on with you. I'm ready to move into prayer at every moment of the day. And I bless you and thank you for your presence on these Sunday services and doing your affirmations. So redefining conditions starts our message. Many people live from a point of view that has been conditioned by their own experiences. And of course, that's all we know. That's all we each know in our past. That's all we each know in our present. Every moment, that's all we know. It's our experience. And we know we have family members, we have people that we know that have different experiences, but those add up to a multitude of divinity and diversions or developments and dialogues and differences. So there are many, many points of view that have been leading up to every single second of this conditioning. And they're their experiences, but they're also our experiences. We're conditioned by our family, by society, or whatever situation surrounds them and us as individual expressions of God. So know our truth is our truth, and we live by it, by society and or whatever situation surrounds you and surrounds them. We have been taught to see the world from a certain perspective. And if you've been in Science of Mind for a day or for a multitude of years, we all have a different perspective, even of Science of Mind, because that's the way it should be. We should see it through our own lens and understand that the lens is broad enough to include everyone who has that perspective. By family, by society, and whatever situation surrounds you. We have been taught to see the world from a certain perspective, whether it is a wonderful world or a threatening world. Let's keep the wonderful world in focus. The wonderful, wonderful world that we each have. The wonderful world that we do each live in. The other perspective is the other perspective. I don't want to just even go there. Keep the beautiful world in perspective. A liberal or conservative point of view, whatever it is, keep a wonderful, beautiful world as your perspective. Sometimes we imagine to get out of these imposed conditionings, yet accept into new conditionings imposed by societal networks. That has to be the truth. How can we avoid what is imposed upon us? I think that is a question for someone with a broader, expansive knowledge than I have. And I think we could have a wonderful, wonderful roundtable of discussion about that with just those of us who have chosen to be on this church service this morning. We each have a different perspective. As long as we hold our science of mind perspective, God is all there is, and there is nothing more. We hold on to the positiveness, the positive energy of those elected persons who are leading us and guiding us. Their prayer is our prayer too. Always remember to bless them and keep them in our hearts, as well as we are keeping them in the strength that they need to do what is right for us. Yeah, we can do that. There's a word, everybody sits around and does that, that kind of chatter. But keep it in that beautiful world. Keep it in that sense of knowing that God is in charge and we are one with it. Don't falter. Do not falter. Don't even consider. I know. I get off the beam, get myself right back on that knowing in that beautiful world. So be with me in that truth.
When you have a pulpit of responsibility, when you have a unique leadership,
I hear someone's voice.
And if you're just living on a desert.
All of this conditioning is from a dualistic perspective, and that's what I was talking about. A dualistic perspective. Dualistic, two, more than one. We as individual each have one. We are one with the one. Our collective oneness, science of mind perspective. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Hold on to it, just like we do. And I know I can say that each and every one of us has in our personal life, our personal self, our family life, our personal family, something that we hold on to so deeply. And it's in that wonderful world of ours. We hold on to it. We hold on to that truth. And we know. And that is what we have to do about our current political situation. Church and state, it's all one thing to me. I know there's a separation of church and state. This, we need to be one focus and one understanding. All of this conditioning is from the dualistic perspective. So let's have our dualistic perspective be focused on the oneness of success for those of us who believe that the truth will out, and we are successful now regarding appearances. So God is present. God is present. God is present. So identifying with the I, this allows for our spiritual aspect to grow and our life to improve. It improves every moment we take a breath. If we are still here to take a breath, we haven't lost anything. We haven't lost the big focus. The big focus is to have a breath, to breathe, so that we can look at all these situations that are going on around us. Yeah, we worry. Yeah, we question. Yeah, we think about things. Yes, we bless that, even that over there that's going on. But we focus. We allow for our spiritual aspect to grow, our life to improve our life. And we also get better and better and better at every aspect of our life. Little by little, we feel that we have found our home. the home within us, the home within each other, the home within every single aspect of human beingness that we do not know, that is on every town or in every town, that is in every country. This is a global country, the United States of America. And within those other states, we are one with them. There are many, many focuses out there in the universal allness of the world that are with us in this allness, knowing that we are going to survive this time, and we are going to know that God is all there is in every aspect of their lives. This comfortable feeling of belonging sometimes brings with it a sense of separation. Do not let that become a focus for you. If it comes, just, I am the I am. I have the affirmation, God is all there is. There is no other thing in this universe going on except God's plan. Know this for yourself. And when you know this for yourself, you know it for all of us. Concentrate on it. Bless it. When all the other stuff comes up, just shake your head and not today. Not today. There's those commercials where those little different shapes kick out the virus, or they kick out the cough, or they're very powerful because someone has taken the medicine. Take the good medicine. Be blessed with our prayers. Speak out. Think through. Know what we know. Every single moment that you slip, slide back into the good. Glide on in there. I am that I am. So if it's maybe uncomfortable, feeling of belonging sometimes brings with a sense of separation, please feel at home in the community. We have this lovely community of Miracle Center for Spiritual Living, but disconnected from the world you came from. The world you came from is the human world, the world that we focus and have every day that supports us. Know that we are one with God. Know that the presence is just a beautiful essence. And I am knowing that in my pushes that I get from the folks that push me. Push me, Reverend June. Push me, June. Get through it, June, today. Think about it. Think about it. Push through it. You push through whatever you got to push through. I know you got stuff to push through. I'm not the only one. Push it aside, and know that we are just doing the best we can with what we have, and that is our science of mind, prayer, and our focus. So another part of the service reading that Jerry read was about stillness. When we allow stillness to speak to us, we awaken from this inherited mental conditioning. Our consciousness becomes the the liberated form, becomes liberated from all dual situations, allowing for the state of wholeness, which washes away any false belief about who and what we are not. I'm going to read that again. When we allow stillness to speak to us, we awaken from this inherited mental conditioning. Our consciousness becomes liberated from all dual situations, allowing for the state of wholeness, which washes away any false beliefs about who and what we are not. When we excuse me, again, new paragraph. When you disidentify from the self that believes in separation, you recognize that you are more than any experience you had in your life. Any experience you had in your life. More than any box you have to check on any form. More than your sex, your gender, your pronoun, your skin color, your nationality. You are more than your own perception, whatever you see, whatever you feel about yourself. Letting go of the I also leads to letting go of the expectations for you, including your spiritual makeup. Spirituality is not another school subject that requires the life exams. To live in and spirit is to live in fullness. Those are some busy words, a lot of words, a lot to think about, a lot for us to keep in our hearts, to keep awakened in our areas of life. Again, I seem to be repetitious about holding on to who we are as individuals, individual spirits, essences, truth of God. That is our call. That is so important to us. I see the names on the screen, and I see a couple people. I see their faces here. So I guess I'm just asking again. Use your daily affirmations. If you're part of the group, there will be a call on the 19th that is in the paperwork that you have gotten. If you need any help with it, call me. Just think about what we're doing here. And I know you are. I just don't get to talk to you in person. But I'm putting in a personal plea for what we have. What we have. I look from my space here in this room, and I know I am reaching more people than I could if I wasn't in this room, and I would reach more people if I was there and in this room in the sanctuary. But we've got to do it. We've got to bless those decision makers and not complain about who did what and why didn't they say this and why didn't they say that. Because what I know the truth is that those who are not abiding by what we hold true, they are going to be telling us something. There's a reason for all the flapping of wings, the flapping of lips, the flapping of disinformation. I know we hear it. I know I say don't hear it, but we hear it. You've got to think beyond it. Do what we need to do. We're on the path. We're accomplishing so very much. Blessings to our state judges. Blessing to one another as we hold on. If you remember any of the wars of this country, they're tragic. Took too many, especially young Americans, young people, period, out of this existence. Do not allow this to happen to us who are old enough, certainly old enough, to be able to take charge and at least pray for the safety and the movement into the betterment of this country. I don't get to talk to very many of you. Some of you I get to talk to quite a bit. and we share this thought. I know those of you that I talk to share this thought, and I know that those of you that are within the sound of my voice know this thought. Know it. Let's do it. And perhaps by next Sunday, we can say, there's another win. There's another and another and another. So back to my readings out of my head and back to this reading. It is the conviction of knowing that today, and I have that in capital letters, today everything is good, and I have that in capital letters, and that your being is part of the good, this good, consciously you can live in the sway of this something called life without questioning it. Tole, I'm not sure if that's the way I should pronounce his name, Tolle, says, surrender is surrounding to this. Surrendering is some, excuse me, I got to stop for a minute. Surrender is surrendering to this moment, not to a story through which you interpret this moment and then try to resign yourself to it. We have to put our ego aside, except that we don't know how or why. Give up wanting logical answers in our limited mind and allow this great something to act. See, I get excited, I get into my own rhetoric, and then as I go to move forward, I must slow down. But hear me in both aspects of my errors and my truth. As science of mind practitioners in the 5th step of spiritual mind treatment, we release our word to the law, knowing which certainly that our world has been cast upon the canvas of life. We do not go back and snoop around needing to prove this process. We simply know it. We know that it is true. We have a call for action this week. We invite you to explore Adache Shante's phrase, I had it, I lost it. For the idea of a struggle between our imaginary sense of identity, the ego self, and our true divine self, the I am, is exposed. By letting go of any resistance while trusting blindly in life's guidance, we can redefine your conditioning, this identifying with the ego self and identifying with the I am. Excuse me for just a minute. I'm going to call my son and ask him to get something for me. Gerard? Oh, I guess he's gone upstairs. I will go over again I was going to have him read the readings for daily reading to me. I have them over on the other side of the room and I can't get to them. So I want you to know that the Wednesday coming up, the 19th, is the time for you to be on the call with our group, whoever has signed up to be on this program with our affirmations, that the call is on Wednesday, the 19th. And I don't have the correct time in front of me. So if you have signed up, you have the sheet that has the time on it. So please use that in order to be on the call. It will be the first call, so it should be exciting. And I thank those of you who have registered with me. If today you need to register, my son will be at the church after church, and he will have the sign-up sheets, and he will have the information for you. His name is Gerard Stanford, and if you haven't met him yet, you will get to meet him in person. So I am not sure of my time. And so again, I bless you. And since I think I have a few minutes left, let me see if I can get 8:16, only 16 after. I have a few minutes left. I'm going to go over for just a minute about the film, the Flow. And it starts with a lost cat, who wanders through a world that has been destroyed physically, reminds one of currently the Ukraine, currently other cities and countries where the only thing standing in their country is burned out buildings and brick monuments to the sky of just either burned out or buildings that have been knocked down. And it starts at that point, and it's a very wide-eyed cat that wanders through all this maze of destruction.
Reverend Junior mic cut out. I'm not sure what happened. Oh. She disconnected.
Well, she didn't get a chance to finish what she was saying before it cut out, so, and I don't think I can finish it either for her, so. I will go over the announcements, and we'll go from there. Podium announcements. Practitioners are available for personal prayer and assistance after service on Sunday mornings. And prayer request forms are in the back of chairs in the sanctuary. And you can also email your request to fran10_10 at att.net, and they are 100% confidential. And we had a bunch of friends at our meeting last week, and if you want to become members, stop by the office and you can fill out a blue card and become a member of this great Miracle Center for Spiritual Living. There are some cookbooks left over, so if you have some gifts to give, birthdays coming up and so forth, you can get an extra cookbook to give. And what else here? It's Reverend June calling me. Yes? Pardon me? Yes, I'm doing the announcements right now and get ready to do the benediction. Okay. Reverend June gives her love to everyone. I don't know, there has been some electrical connections that have dropped in the city that we know about, and I don't know if that's what happened with her, but her connection dropped. Just a reminder, the 31-day stay-at-home retreat that Reverend Leora is doing, and there's a little handout in your program, so you can join that. And starting Wednesday are going to be the phone calls, so that's happening. All right, I think I've gotten all of the announcements. Let's do our benediction and then we'll do the feast song. So if you would, just put your feet flat on the floor, just sit up and be comfortable. Mother, Father God, we just give thanks for this time that we have had. We know that we are enriched by the words from Reverend June. We are lucky, we are so lucky to have a wonderful, wonderful building that's nice and rain-proof and warm. And we just give thanks for this time that we have had. We give thanks for the lesson, give thanks for each and every person that's been working with us and working to keep this ministry going. And I just release this treatment into the ethers, knowing that it is so. And if you can say with me, and so it is, and so I let it be, amen. And now, if you will circle up, we'll do the peace song.